Jeff Bezos is looking more built and jacked than guys 20 to 30 years younger.
There are also some very painful days. I get up early, just naturally, and chat with Lauren. I drink my first coffee.
Well, that's strange. There was no mention of ice baths, infrared saunas, anal sunning, fasted cardio, putting butter in coffees, breath work, screaming affirmations in the mirror like Tony Robbins, or any other method that may or may not work. I'm not saying they're bad, but it sounds like he just gets up whenever he wakes up, could be between 6 or 7, that's my guess, has a coffee, and then just kind of bumbles around throughout the morning. That's kind of the impression that he gives. And he hasn't even mentioned anything about training. But I wanted to find out more about what he's actually doing to look jacked.
I exercise most days, and most days it's not that hard for me. Some days it's really hard. And I do it anyway. I don't want to, and it's painful. And I'm like, why am I here? And I don't want to do
I mean, why am I here at the
Why,
gym?
why am I here at the gym? Why don't I do something else?
Well, at least he's being honest about it, and that's the reality. Like, anyone who does have a jacked physique, who is ripped, isn't gonna love doing every single gym workout. I don't look forward to most of my sessions, but we just do them anyway. However, he does say that he trains almost every day, but I'm going to assume with his schedule, traveling a lot, probably more like 4 to 6 days a week, that varies. And more importantly, let's find out what he's actually doing in those workouts.
My routine, on a good day, I do about half an hour of cardio, and I do about 45 minutes of weightlifting, resistance training of some kind, mostly weights.
So 30 minutes of cardio could be burning anywhere between 100 to 200 calories. Then he's doing 45 minutes of lifting weights, which is enough time to get stronger and build muscle, especially if he's doing anywhere from 4 to 6 workouts a week.
I have a trainer who, I love, who pushes me, which is really helpful.
He has his own personal trainer by the name of Wes Ockerson, who used to be Tom Cruise's personal trainer. I don't know much about this guy, but if he's training Bezos, he's got to be good. But I think there's more to the picture here that we're not seeing, and there are other people who are having an influence on Bezos and his physique, which we'll talk about in a minute. But I was also interested to know how he stays motivated with so much going on, especially at his age, and having not looked like this for the majority of his life. What keeps him disciplined to keep showing up and training almost every day?
I know that I'll feel better later if I do it. And so like the real source of motivation, I can tell the days when I skip it. I'm not quite as alert. I don't feel as good. And then there's harder motivations. It's longer term. You want to be healthy as you age. You want health span. You want, ideally, you want to be healthy and moving around when you're 80 years old, and
So training every day can help us elevate our energy across the entire day, provided we don't go too hectic and crazy and deplete all of our energy. But I love how Jeff also talks about the long-term impact, and not just our lifespan, but health span, and prioritizing not just living a long life, but living a long, healthy life, so we get to enjoy it for as long as possible. So it sounds like that's the core motivation.
I do almost every day. I do a little bit of cardio and a little bit of weightlifting, and I'd rotate. I do a pulling day and a pushing day and a leg day. It's all pretty standard stuff.
Push-pull leg split. So it could be that he's doing push-pull legs, rest day, push-pull legs. That would be a 6-day split, which is quite intense. And again, I would be surprised if he fits all that in to his, what I would assume is a hectic schedule with everything he's got going on. However, that is pretty solid, and anyone who would do a push-pull legs and then another push-pull legs in the same week is going to get results, provided you're recovering. However, there's a good chance that he may have some extra recovery agents helping him in this process, which we're going to talk about in a second.
Buttering, coffee, gym, and then work.
So there you go, the $200 billion daily routine, puttering around, smashing a coffee, hitting the gym, and then getting to work. Now we know that he is doing cardio, push-pull leg workout split, likely twice a week, but he didn't talk about nutrition, so I had to do a bit of digging to see what he actually eats. According to this article on the Body and Soul website, Bezos admitted that he had never read a nutritional label in his life, and he ate what tasted good to him, which is likely why he used to be a little bit overweight and look, a bit puffier and older than his age. However, he's also posted up pictures of having, the odd cheat meal. Clearly he's a fan of Cheetos and smashing some McDonald's burgers here and there, which is something that I would recommend to most people to keep things in balance and not be too strict. But just from the way he looks, we can assume that he is having a high protein diet. He would be eating a reasonable amount of carbs to fuel his 4, 5, or 6 workout sessions a week. And his trainer would be making sure that he's getting, the healthy fats and hitting his vitamin and mineral nutrient intake. There's no doubt he's got some of the world's best doctors taking care of his inner health and keeping an eye on his blood work as well. What about his recovery?
I left as the CEO of Amazon, and I have never worked harder in my life. I am working so hard, and I'm mostly enjoying it, but there are also some very painful days.
If it really is the busiest time of his life, then it's even more important that he's recovering adequately, and here's what he's got to say about that.
And so then on sleep, I get 8 hours of sleep. I prioritize it. For me, I need 8 hours of sleep. I think better. I have more energy. My mood is better. All these things.
8 hours of sleep a night sounds good to me. It'd be awesome to see if he had some Oura Ring data to see how much deep and REM sleep he's getting. However, here's why he sees sleep as being such a key factor in his daily life.
And think about it. As a senior executive, what do you really get paid to do? As a senior executive, you get paid to make a small number of high-quality decisions. If I make 3 good decisions a day, that's enough. And they should just be as high quality as I can make them.
So I'll add 8 hours of sleep to Jeff Bezos' jacked body routine. And this leads us down into the dark and dirty dungeon to discover what is really going on under the hood. Obviously, Jeff is a well-connected guy, and he's been seen hanging out with The Rock, who we all know is, 100% natural athlete, of course. I'm just kidding. But there could be some influence here because of the types of posts that he's put up here on Instagram, where he is looking pretty built. I'm impressed with how he looks in this picture, but he's tagged The Rock saying, still working on my smolder. I don't know what he means by that, but maybe it means he's getting more swole, wider shoulders. Maybe this is The Rock's influence rubbing off here. But here's what other experts have to say about Bezos' physique.
But is he in fact natural?
Gained a significant amount of muscle mass deep into his 40s. If you look at him now, he looks great.
58 years old, looking that good?
Random question. Do you think Jeff Bezos is on steroids?
100%.
I'm sure they're just on reasonable TRT and probably leveraging certain compounds for their brain health.
Of course he's not natural.
Okay.
1,000%.
Really?
Yes. He's not, I don't want to say steroids.
Would it be shocking news to think that a 58-year-old man who has all the money in the world and can afford anything wouldn't want to feel that?
Okay, so there's a really high chance that Bezos is taking some kind of steroid, but is that a bad thing?
He is on hormone replacement therapy, in my opinion. What he looks like now is a healthier, way better, way stronger version of what he looked like when he was
he's totally
younger.
ripped. He looks way
He
better.
looks great.
Yeah.
He looks great.
So Joe Rogan is openly honest about his use of TRT, and he actually gives some good advice about how to approach it.
If you want your body to perform well, I think you should get regular blood work. You should do it from a very good doctor that understands hormone replacement therapy. You should be very smart about it. You shouldn't take too much of it.
So whether any guy wants to do TRT, HRT, or any kind of steroid or not, it's important to still keep an eye on our internal health and our blood work. But here's the thing, it's not just about the TRT, which is what everyone likes to focus on as if it's some kind of magic substance. Now, sure, it can do wonderful things, but it requires hard work and recovery and eating the right kinds of foods. And you'd be shocked at what guys can achieve in their 50s and 60s without ever touching any kind of steroid. Like Randall here, who's dropped over 100 pounds and built up pounds of muscle in the process. There's no point touching any steroids until you lock in your training, your nutrition, and your recovery, and you tie all that together with clean biofeedback data to guide you and optimize ongoing. When you put all that together, you can get amazing results and then decide if you want to go ahead and take any steroids. And if you're looking to get results like this for yourself without touching steroids or potentially doing it later, check out this video here where I explain step by step to help guys get their ripped body no matter how busy they are.